Chloe, do you remember when you were a little baby and your teeth used to hurt and I used to make homemade teething biscuits for you? I don't suppose you still want one, would you? Really?
Yeah.
Does it make your teeth feel better? Does it make your tummy feel better? Make mommy feel better. When Kenya and Chloe were little babies, I used to make them homemade teething cookies all the time. It was a special treat that I could make that was really easy for me and something I felt like they really enjoyed. So to start, we're gonna take one large egg and we're just looking for the egg yolk. So we're gonna remove the egg white. So you just crack it over a bowl and just keep flipping the yolk back and forth, letting the white drip into the bowl underneath it, and then you can make an egg white omelet for yourself afterwards, since the yolk is gonna go right into, come on, there we go, into the food processor. Okay, and then what I'm gonna pour in with that is 2 tablespoons of oil, and I like to make this in the food processor because it's just so much easier. Some molasses. Ooh. Molasses is great because it's high in iron, which can be important for babies. Grab a whisk here. Okay. All right, there's molasses, and then a tablespoon of either rice or soy milk. My husband drinks rice milk, so I always have that in the refrigerator, and a teaspoon of vanilla, which is gonna give it just an extra bit of delicious flavor. I'm just gonna put it the top on and whisk this up for just a second. All right, and even at 8 months, you can get your baby to help you. Have them push their little finger on the food processor. I always used to do that with the kids. Now here, 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, lots of extra nutrition, a tablespoon of soy flour, and some wheat germ. Just gonna put that, and you wanna just whisk it up to make sure that everything gets completely distributed, and that's it. Just pour it into the food processor. Seriously, like how much easier could that possibly be? And if you don't have a food processor, you can always do this by hand. And what you're looking for to do is form a ball, because that ball will make it really easy to roll out. That's it. Never even had to turn it off to scrape it down. See, it comes in that, just that ball, and that's what makes this dough so easy. I'm just gonna take out the blender, they get the blade. When the kids were babies and I started making homemade baby food, I went to the grocery and was looking on the shelves, and I'm like, oh yeah, they should have homemade teething cookies, something sweet, a nice little treat. And then I realized, why not make them, make them fresh, make them homemade instead of the kind that are boxed, that are made with white flour and all kinds of like extra sugar and things that really aren't nutritious for them. So now I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of whole wheat flour, just that we used in the recipe, and I'm gonna pat it down. And you could do this with a rolling pin if you want, but I like to do it with my hands because this is one of those doughs that's just so forgiving. Okay, you're gonna make it into a square, just like that. You could do this on a flat board, like this, a marble surface, or you could do it on a cutting board, whatever you want. And you're just forming it into a square. And I remember the first time I made these in Kenya, I handed it to him after he'd been just eating so much homemade baby food, all these different purees, and I handed him a cookie. It was like solid, real food, and he loved it so much, like gobbled these up. All right, now you're just gonna make a cross section in the middle, and then you just form them into bars. This recipe will make about 10 to 12. It just depends how thin or thick you want them. I usually make them about 1.5 inches each. They're perfect for little baby hands. They're holding their first solid food. And you're gonna bake them, put them on a cookie sheet like this. You can either do parchment lined, or you could do a silk hat lined like I've got here, which is a great heat conductor. Just line them all up, and you're gonna put them into a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. And what you want them to be soft, you don't want them to be too hard, like this. Ooh, I think that Kenya and Chloe are gonna love these, even though they're not teething anymore. I'm gonna go see if they can round them up and have a bite. For more fast, fresh, and easy recipes like this and more, check out HowDini.com.